UK has scored for Nigeria. Goal that wins the first ever footballing gold medal for Nigeria.
To continue their impressive run so as to place Edo State in the continental map.
Toby Amazon, look at the clock. I cannot believe it. She's done it again. 2 world records in one night. And she makes history by becoming Nigeria's first world champion.
Alex Iwobi decides to go early. Chukwueze shapes the shoot, gets some spaces. Osimhen.
Having personalities with the desired knowledge and the sincerity of purpose is key for the advancement of Nigerian sports. Hence, the National Sports Commission has announced the appointment of Yusuf Ali as the CEO of its Elite Athlete Development Board. This appointment was made in the course of the week, and we believe that it is truly the way to go if we must begin to make giant strides as far as podium finish and other areas in the acts and life of our athletes are concerned. My name is Matthew Kugbe, setting the tone for another exciting episode of Sportsville. So much on offer on today's package. We'll be looking at Nigerian football, more importantly, and the failing of Nigerian clubs, precisely MPFL clubs in the continent. The top guys, I must tell you, are already in the studio. Raymond Aquarere, as well as Tony Ubane, the big man himself. And together, we are set to serve you another loaded episode of Sportsville. Stick around, we're going to break, and when we return, plenty awaits at the other side.
Pack your bags. Betano is giving you the chance to win an all-expenses paid trip to the UK. Play with Betano and watch live the big game of Aston Villa versus Tottenham at the iconic Villa Park. Ready for an unforgettable football experience? Betano, proud partner of Aston Villa.
Yes, it is safe to say you're right on time. If you just tuned in now, the show is Sportsville, and we are about to get it started. I'm not alone in the studio. Tony Ubani is here. Tony, it feels great to have you back on set.
Yeah, thank you so much, Matthew. And I must tell you that it's always a delight, when you come here to talk sports. Talk sports with a lot of facts and, of course, giving people news that they can use.
And one man that knows how to say it just without holding back is Raymond Akpagere. Raymond, feels great to have you back.
So good to be here for Sportsville. Sportsville, ever unique, ever great, and of course, nice to be here this wonderful day.
Yes, so much to look forward to on today's package. Let's kickstart with this big appointment. Let's let you in that the NSA has announced the composition of its Elite Athletes Development and Podium Board, with former Nigerian international Yusuf Ali as its CEO. Another appointment for Yusuf Ali, Tony Ubani, a familiar face in a very, very familiar terrain. We saw him do this under former Minister Sunday Dare at some point, and now he has been saddled with the responsibility to ensure that Nigeria does well, especially in the area of podium finish for our athletes.
Yeah, Matthew, a very great appointment that, since NSC came on board, and of course, Shehu Duku and Lakpade, just in, driving the NSC, they have really been doing so well. You can see very great appointments of, note, people that people that know what they are into. And of course, when you talk about sports and talk about elite sports, there is no other better person that fits that role other than Yusuf Ali. He was a record holder in Africa. And of course, someone I remember that brought so much, cheers to so many fans, during his days. I think it's a very great thing. I also saw a man that is full of wisdom, and Gweje, he's there. And I think that these guys are going to drive sports well.
And away from athletics, we talk football now. Let's tell you that the long wait continues for Nigeria as far as silverware in club football on the continent is concerned after Nigeria's sole representative at the CAF Confederation Cup, Enyimba Football Club, exited the tournament. Enyimba last won the CAF Champions League for Nigeria in 2004. Since then, no Nigerian club has made it to the final of the tournament, let alone winning the trophy. So it is safe to say at this time, the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup has become an elusive title for Nigeria. Raymond, feels good to have you back on set. We are here once again, the failings of Nigerian clubs in the continent.
All right, Matthew, is a very unfortunate situation because not only Enyimba, because Enyimba, we thought they were going to at least cover up the lapses of teams like Rangers, like Remo Stars, and of course, Academy. All these clubs crashed out so early. Even Academy crashed out in round one. Was it preliminaries against an unrated Beninoise team? But again, this is a Nigerian league we thought had produced the likes of Rangers and of course Remo Stars, who have been at the continent at one time or the other. But sadly, they could not get it well. So I think it's about poor management. It's about poor quality of football. Even if coaching too is not top notch. I remember when Enyimba won the CAF Champions League in 2003, 2004. The difference was very glaring. Better players, quality players, long list of players who could effectively play for Nigeria's national football team. Of course, at different times, there was Sheyi Ogusanya at the Eagles, there was Eric Ejiofor in the national team, there was a Dele Ayenuba, there was a Vincent Eyama, there was also goalkeeper Austin Ejide. Look at the guys playing the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederation Cup. Where are these guys? What is their quality? How good are they? What about the motivation? Where are the club chairmen and officials of these clubs? How much motivation are they bringing? There was a certain Emeka Nwana, Ayaya at Rangers International. These are guys, and even at Enyimba, these were guys who were bringing fear to opponents. Media was always taking along. But these guys, they're playing political football. If you can accept that, these are guys who are there like politicians. I'm talking about the administrators, club chairmen, club officials, leaving their roles for media officers to just bring press releases. Felix Anyasiago, I used to know at Enyimba, it's not different. He's so quiet at the NFF. But when Enyimba was on top of their game, you always see him very, very aggressive, very alive to his responsibility. Ojuzo Kalu ever there to motivate. And what is happening now? Who are the guys in charge? So why are you expecting a title? They are not playing good football. The footballers, they are like academy footballers. These guys that are playing and winning our titles and going to represent us, they are not good enough. That is why we are failing. That is the truth.
Raymond, Tony Ubani, Raymond mentioned mostly having quality players. But I would also like us to talk about coaching. I saw Enyimba's last game. Yes, though they played away, but you could see lapses in the area of coaching. The players not being able to implement whatever strategy the coach seems to have tried to inculcate in them. You cut Eguma some slack that he just got into the team. But coaching and poor management cost Enyimba that game, and they were beaten just as easy as it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, but I'm happy that you mentioned poor management. I guess that to me, that's the greatest of undoing that we have seen in Nigerian representatives playing in the continent. And I must say that Raymond just, has touched virtually on everything, talked about the management, talked about when men were men, not when boys are trying to answer men. And I think there is the disparity, the difference is very, very clear. Matthew, let me talk about management. I see that I do not know the type of support that Enyimba gets from the government. That's the very first one that we will also, look into, because I remember in 2003, 2004, and all the Champions League trophies that they won, at least I covered the matches, and of course we all came back, with the trophies. And of course, I knew the commitment, the passion, the love by Ojuzo Kalu, who was a governor. And if there was anything that established Governor Ojuzo Kalu, it was his interest, his love for football. And of course, youths were all there clamoring for him. And he went out for the best legs. Raymond just read a lot of names. I do not, and of course, I agree with Raymond totally, but I do not think that we have such players in Enyimba. That's just part one. Then part two, on this management, who are the managers of Enyimba? Who are the ones that are propelling Enyimba? Most of the clubs, what is affecting Nigerian clubs at the continent is the fact that they do not have the wherewithal. If they do, financially, if they do, they try to cut, they try to cut costs a lot. And that cutting costs has also cost us a lot. And because if you look at the North Africans that are dominating, these clubs, everything is well arranged. Their aircrafts, they hire aircrafts, they have their aircrafts, they come on a chartered aircraft. Mind you, they come here to spend some time. We are talking about weather. You must acclimatize. It's a natural thing. And I must say that it's undermining our league. People are beginning to ask questions. If our league is so strong as we make it to be, or to make it to be, why is it that no Nigerian club since 2003, 2004 has risen to win, even if it's not the Champions League, the Confederations Cup?
Interesting. Raymond, now let's look at playing at the continent. Definitely your performance is also a reflection of the level of professionalism and quality of your domestic league. We've seen that with the North Africans over time. What must be done to change this narrative, especially in the next few years? What must be done?
Facility is very key, very standard facility, so that your players will not go to North Africa and be admiring the stadium and the welfare packages of their opponents. It had happened so before. How many of our teams have a proper stadia? As I mentioned earlier, and they did every club, everybody moving to Abuja. Moving to Uyo to play matches. My dear Warri Stadium, that millions of naira was used to rehabilitate. Has been. You can't even go there again.
Quality of players.
Poor coaching. We talk of Stanley Eguma. He came and there was a lot of hype about his return with Bright Ideye. But what did Stanley Eguma achieve when he was in charge at Rivers United? A regular quarterfinal, and it ends there, be it in the Champions League or the CAF Confederation Cup. What level of coaching, what kind of brush up does he go into? Does he consult? Does anybody get in touch with the likes of Kadri Hana, Modi? These are coaches who won the title for Enyimba. Does the present chairman, Kanu Nwankwo, with due respect to him, for example, does he seek advice of top coaches? Does he get in touch with the media? How does he relate to the media? That's why I say it's not enough for media officers to just come with a press release and give us team lists. Tony mentioned it, and if you can remember well, there was close relationship between the media and the management and technical crew of Enyimba when they won the title. But now there's a long gap, there's a vacuum, and so they just feed us with any squad, any player available to play. And here we are. So it's a long wait and quite unfortunate.
Tony, in few words, what support should Nigerians, I'm talking of Nigerians, the football family, the NSC, the NFF, everyone, what kind of support should we give to our clubs playing on the continent? Yes, they represent Nigeria at that time. They fly our flag. What level of support should we give to these teams? Because we've seen the North Africans that each time they play, it is the nation that plays, not just the football club.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. And I must tell you that if what I've seen from Shehu Diku and Olokbade is anything to go by, I think that the two guys should move immediately to see that anytime a club is representing Nigeria, that club has moved from, either the state, to become a national property. And what I mean by that is that they should also think about help, necessarily looking at financial help most times, because most of these clubs do not have money. Traveling logistics, they have to try as much as possible.
Insights on coaching.
Do a lot of this. And of course, technical support.
Yes.
They also have to do, once a club is representing Nigeria, that club has become a property of Nigeria. So technical support, look at it, technical support, traveling, logistics, in traveling. And sometimes financial support. Matthew, these are the things. When they do these things, you see that the club themselves will believe that, yes, we are not just representing Enyimba, we are not representing Aba, we are representing the whole of Nigeria. That's exactly how I think it should go, Matthew.
Pack your bags. Betano is giving you the chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip to the UK. Play with Betano and watch live the big game of Aston Villa versus Tottenham at the iconic Villa Park. Ready for an unforgettable football experience? Betano, proud partner of Aston Villa.
I think if you ask any manager, promoter, boxer, or anybody in the boxing community, what's one thing they would like to achieve in their boxing careers moving forward? And everybody would tell you it's to be associated or to at some point in their careers to do something affiliated with the most prestigious sanctioning body in the world, which is WBC. So this collaboration is groundbreaking for Nigeria, for Africa, that we have the most prestigious sanctioning body with ABU, which happens to be affiliated with WBC, come to Nigeria, and for Yucateko Boxing Promotion to be a huge part of it, promoting one of its kind that will move African boxing forward without any doubt whatsoever.
The WBC Amateur African Boxing Union Tournament is coming to Nigeria as a great opportunity for the young talented boxers in Africa to have the opportunities and the exposure to be connected and be visible. The upcoming Boxing World Cup, the very first, is coming sometimes in late months of this given year, and other boxing talents from all over other regions of the world, like Asia, Europe, South America, North America. You know, they've done their own, they are ready. They're going to be invited for the World Cup. Without this in Africa, that means all our God-given talents, the next generation of champions of Africa, will not get the opportunity to be there. That's one of the motivating factors where we put it upon ourselves. We shun the huge impact of the finances to make sure we just have to unlock these opportunities for our teaming boxers who have been training so hard, and so that they can also be competitive in the global stage as far as boxing development is concerned in terms of ranking.
Pack your bags. Betano is giving you the chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip to the UK. Play with Betano and watch live the big game of Aston Villa versus Tottenham at the iconic Villa Park. Ready for an unforgettable football experience? Betano, proud partner of Aston Villa.
Yes, let's talk combat sports now. Action in the square groups, to be precise. We told you last week that something big is happening in Lagos as far as boxing is concerned. Yucateko Boxing Promotion is bringing the rest of the world to the city of Lagos for the first ever WBC Amateur Boxing Championship to be hosted in Africa. The tournament also serves as a qualifiers for the first ever, the maiden WBC Amateur World Cup to be hosted in Mexico later in the year. The tournament would run from the 6th to the 8th of February at the Molade Okoya Indoor Sports Hall of the Teslim Balogun Stadium. You would say Lagos is agog. Everybody seems to be talking about it. Boxing at its very best, happening for the very first time in Africa. Raymond?
Yeah, good development. Perhaps the best thing to happen to amateur boxing in Nigeria. I've never heard of a boxing league in Nigeria before. Yucateko has set the pace. We are now in season 2, terminating February. And just before then, the WBC ABU title or tournament you just mentioned, it's a key one, ready. I mean, a good one that should be embraced by not just Yucateko, but even a corporate world. Because these are the things we're talking about. It's an innovation that will really boost Nigerian boxers, young amateur boxers of Nigeria, have something to look up to, go there, win the prizes, and of course get tickets for the World Cup in Mexico. And of course, it will improve your rating, rankings. We thought it was only in football or, some other sports that these things were happening. So Yucateco has opened the eyes of everybody. And of course, this is a concept that everybody should support. For me, I'm looking forward to those dates. February 8th to 6 to 8. I mean, Teslim Balogun Stadium is where to be. And I hope Nigerian boxers will equally go there and prove that, what they've been doing at the Yucateco season 1 and 2 is no fluke. Let them go there, beat guys from Kenya, from Uganda, from, Benin Republic, Ghana. A rare one for them, rare platform for them to excel. I tell you, Matthew.
Tony Ubani, you want to say Omole Yakubu Imadu needs all the support he could get at this time. We are seeing another individual who is coming to revolutionize boxing development in the country. He's not talking of professional boxing. He's going to the nook and crannies, pick young talent, and they are refined with consistent bouts in the league to become global superstars. And this same outfit is bringing to Africa for the very first time the WBC Amateur Boxing World Cup. It takes a nation, it takes a federation to make this happen. But we have an individual who is throwing away his weight behind this. I think he needs all the support he could get, both from the NLC as well as the private sector.
Yeah, but I feel so excited, just seeing that indeed a young man, has so much passion for boxing. If you knew how and what boxing did or brought for Nigeria, you will know how and where I am coming from. I'm talking about, Yakubu, the young man that is in charge of Yucateco, bringing boxing revival to Nigeria. And indeed, my excitement also knew no bounds when they mentioned about WBC. And I thought it was just a hype until I saw with my eyes, just like Thomas, I saw and I believed, when WBC officials, joined in the press conference heralding, this boxing tournament that is coming up in February. And indeed, I knew that, yes, indeed, it was real. And I think this is the right time that the federal government, the National Sports Commission, should come behind this man, show support, and of course, throw a lot of weight, even financial weight, because this young man has been carrying the load on his shoulders. And I know he's doing this for passion and no other thing, but for all that we know that this thing is going to bring to Nigeria, the medals, I think this is the time for us to bring back boxing. Boxing has always been a game, that brings so much joy and so much medals for Nigeria.
Yes, interesting. We build up to that very, very important amateur boxing championship from the 6th to 8th of February 2025. The venue remains the Molade Okoya Indoor Sports Hall of the Teslim Balogun Stadium. And 8 nations are set to do battle: Kenya, Uganda, Togo, Senegal, Ghana, Mali, Cameroon, as well as Nigeria. So much to truly look forward to as far as the bout is concerned. Yes, from boxing now, let's talk Sports Award. And it is a thing of delight to say that the countdown has begun for the 5th edition of the Sportsville Special Recognition Award. The award ceremony would hold in Lagos on the 21st of March 2025, and the nominees are possible recipients of the award has been made known by the organizing committee. Tolu Ubani, you were part of the organizing committee, painstaking effort to pick certain individuals. The 5th edition of the Sportsville Special Recognition Award, what should Nigerians expect?
Yeah, Matthew, Nigerians should not expect anything less, because I think that the Sportsville Award has been a very unique one. It's been one that is standing on its own, one that is based on merit. We have seen a lot of awards, and when Sportsville Award came, I think Nigerians rose to acknowledge its uniqueness and, of course, its merit. And that has made it to stand on its own, and people look forward to it. Because most of the awards, Matthew, people somehow either sponsor the awards or people just do some things, pay for awards until, Frank Elaboye in his wisdom came up with an award that will be basically based on merit. And indeed, it's a time to reward those who are behind the masquerade, like we say, because most of the times we see Nigerians go outside to do some things, but then there are men and women that have always been behind behind them, and that's exactly what Sportsville Award is rewarding. Matthew, today the Yellow Greens are making rounds, making a lot of names in the international scene. Talk about cricket in the world, whoever will ever think that Nigeria will get to the world to make or beat New Zealand, for instance.
Yes.
And then I must tell you that Sportsville Award saw that vision long time ago
When
they gave award to
honored.
To Akpata, the federation president, a man that that doesn't like publicity, a man that doesn't like publicity. And there are so many of them, Matthew. I'm telling you, I know that the Sportsville Award, once it's mentioned, people will be looking forward to it. It's a time for us to celebrate. It's a time for us to acknowledge those who have reaped, and of course, or those who have sowed, so that they can also reap, Matthew.
Interesting. Know that Sportsville is watching your contribution to sports development in Nigeria over the years cannot be shoved aside as far as Sportsville is concerned. Hence, this award to honor those who have contributed to the growth and development of Nigerian sports over the years. So if you have done something 10, 15, 20 years ago, once Sportsville is in the know, you definitely would be honored. And if you also watch it, this is not an award you pay for. You must merit it to be awarded by Sportsville. At this time, we are about to join the ever delectable Nengi to give us updates as far as the NPFL is concerned.
Good afternoon, I am Nengi Ernest Ademola and welcome to NPFL Moments. Let's dive into the exciting world of Nigerian football. The matchday 14 fixture, dubbed the Zobia Clasico between Kano Pillars and Enyimba FC, set the tone for the second half of the NPFL season despite being a rescheduled game. In front of a packed Sani Abacha Stadium, Abba Adam sealed a 2-0 victory for the Sai Masugida boys over Enyimba, scoring a goal in each half. However, the NPFL Matchday 20 marked the beginning of the league's second half. Here are the highlights. At the Lafia Township Stadium, Nasarawa United, also known as the Solid Miners, hosted Katsina United. Kama Adegoke scored the winning goal in the 35th minute, securing a 1-0 victory for the Solid Miners. In another match, Niger Tornadoes drew first blood against Rangers International at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium. Ismail Sariki, who joined Tornadoes from Enyimba FC, scored in the 17th minute, but Rangers equalized 4 minutes later through Chinemerem Igweze. Ifeanyi Okechukwu restored Tornadoes' lead in the 65th minute. On the other hand, Chidozie Okorie missed a spot kick for Rangers and Tornadoes ended up securing a 2-1 win. Abia Warriors also secured a 1-0 victory against Bayelsa United. The match between Kwara United and Shooting Stars was postponed due to Kwara United's rescheduled fixture against Enyimba FC on Monday, January 27th. Yesterday's game saw 12 goals scored with 3 home wins and 1 away victory. The action continues today, with top-of-the-table team Remo Stars facing relegation-troubled Aqua United. Kennedy Boboye returns to the sidelines with Aqua United, aiming to replicate his previous success with the team. Other matches scheduled for today include Rivers United vs Plateau United FC, Heartland FC vs Lobby Stars. However, the match between Kano Pillars vs El Kanemi has been postponed, and Bendel Insurance vs Enyimba FC have also been postponed, as Enyimba FC will face Kwara United in a rescheduled fixture. Meanwhile, Nigerian music and business mogul Mr. Easy recently sparked excitement in the football community with a tweet that read, "I've got my eyes on the NPFL." His tweet generated a buzz with many fans offering advice on the NPFL club he should invest in. I am Nengi Ernest Ademola and I'll catch you next week on NPFL Moments.
Pack your bags. Betano is giving you the chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip to the UK. Play with Betano and watch live the big game of Aston Villa vs Tottenham at the iconic Villa Park. Ready for an unforgettable football experience? Betano, proud partner of Aston Villa.
Let's continue the conversation across all our social media platforms on your screen. This time, remember, at Sportsville, we say it just the way it should be said. Matthew Kugbe, we'll see you next week with another interesting package. Bye for now.
Emmanuel Amunike has scored for Nigeria. Goal that wins the first ever footballing gold medal for Nigeria.
To continue their impressive run to place Edo State in the continental map.